Kevin Daisey, Array Digital, controlling your brand identity. So, what does brand identity mean? So Wikipedia, if you look at that, this is the definition of it. So it's basically anything to do with your brand, products, or services can be considered part of your brand identity. So that's a great description, but it's not really what I'm here to talk about. You might think of brands. You might think of Array Digital, huge brand, a lot of brand recognition. We have a tagline, and obviously these are big companies that you would recognize as big brands that you would follow. But we're a small company. We're based out of Hampton Roads. We just opened a small office in Orlando. We're not a recognized brand, but we still have a brand identity, and everyone here has a brand identity. So, is your brand identity your logo? Absolutely not. I think for most people think your brand is your logo, colors, fonts. And honestly, back a long time ago, I thought that's what a brand was too. It's your logo. And that's definitely not what it is. So I'm going to go over things. So what it is it's awareness, it's trust, it's reputation, and it's the perception that people have when they think about your company or yourself if you're talking about a personal brand. So these are the things that really make up what your brand identity is. So you already have a brand identity whether you like it or not, whether it's good or bad. Everyone here and every company in the room has a brand identity. So what I want to ask you is, are you in control of yours? And are you just kind of putting stuff out there, going through the emotions and doing the work that you do and just kind of, doing whatever? You're absolutely in control of your brand identity, and you should put things in place to help control it. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So things like your tagline, your logo, the products that you offer, the clients that you have, those all do something for your brand identity. If you have a bunch of little clients that no one knows about versus if Apple and Uber, those are your clients, they attach themselves kind of to your brand identity, and they help with the perception of what people think of your business. So these are all things that might be included, even your process, your pricing. If you're really cheap, then people are going to say, oh yeah, that company I go to because they're cheap. Maybe that's what you want. That might be good. But that's going to do something for your brand identity. So let's start with the basics. So the small things, the fluffy stuff, the things that are kind of cheesy, I guess, or things that we have worked hard, me and Eric, to do in our company, is things that we used to think were cheesy and just dumb, really. Things like your core values and stuff like that, but I'll get to that in a second. So I would say start, when you're thinking about your brand identity, make sure you know what you help your clients, what problems you can solve for them. You need to really know what problems you can solve for your clients. Not that I just do digital marketing or advertising, but what's the problems that you solve? And once you start kind of going down that path, you can start to craft the right messaging and start looking at niches and the right clients that you want to work with. So define your core values. Again, this is something we thought was kind of cheesy and cliche, but as we got further along, it's something that we now 100% believe in. We put a lot of effort into it. We've done a lot of research with it, and we've talked to a lot of experts. And we continue to kind of craft these and make them better, but these have really changed how our business is and how our culture in the company is. But it also goes beyond internal. It's what people see you externally as well, and how your employees talk about your business. Develop a mission. Again, one of those things that we thought was kind of cheesy, and everyone has one. They're just like super long, and no one reads them. We have a pretty defined mission, and it's really short. It's to dominate digital marketing in Hampton Roads. So it's a 3-year mission. It's very easy to say, but that's our mission, right? And obviously to do that, we have to do other things like customer service and do the right things and have the right clients and take care of our people. So there's a lot more to it than just what it says, right? And then have a vision for the future. So if someone wants to get behind a brand or you as a person, what's your vision? Are they going to follow you or want to be part of that or not? If you don't have a vision and you're just kind of stumbling through, then you're not going to have a lot of people that really buy into who you are or what your business is doing. So again, it's cheesy, right? You remember this commercial with the liquid gold with the gold miners? It's pretty awesome, actually. So that's the cheesy stuff, but that's the basics. You have to have those things in place I feel like, to really have the building blocks there. Without those things, you're kind of just guessing everything else, and no one's really going to get behind what you're doing. So, deliver on what you promised. So people are going to be, based on your reputation and the things that you do, you need to deliver on what you promise. So if it's a service, a deadline, quality, whatever it might be, you need to deliver. And not just deliver, but again and again and again. And brand identities are built on consistency. So people are used to you consistently delivering or a quality of product or whatever it might be, but they need to see consistency over a long period of time to really feel that they can trust your brand. Focus on customer experience. Actually, the CEO of the American Marketing Association, I got to meet him. He was actually the CMO of Burger King. And he did a whole presentation on experience design. And I've done talks on this prior to this, the customer experience is one of the most important things. Not just getting the customer in the deal, it starts way before that. And then also, once they do sign on as a client or a customer, what's that whole experience after that? The onboarding process, billing, everything that can happen will happen, but how that all happens to that customer and their experience will help them really believe in your brand, tell other people about your brand, expand your reputation. So you don't want to, you definitely want to focus on the customer experience, on everything you can do. 80% of customers check reviews. So again, this is your brand identity, this is maybe your reputation. So this is reviews online, case studies, what people say about your brand, how that, if there's negative things out there, whatever, how you respond. Your reputation is everything. So people are going to check you out. They check us out, and we get validated all day long. It's ridiculous, actually, some of the stuff we have to go through. And if you're just like a service company like Lauren, it's even quicker. They're going to call 5 people, whoever answers the phone, check the reviews, and then they're picking someone that day. For us, it's like a month process sometimes to really get through the the validation steps, and we have to be strong on all those things. And if not, we get called out on it pretty quickly. So be everywhere. For us, we have a podcast. We have Marketers Anonymous in 3 cities. We put out content on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Half the time, we're not out of the office, but we're putting stuff out there. And I have people all the time say, man, you guys are everywhere. You're doing everything. We're like, no, I don't leave the office all week. But it's that perception, right? And we are putting out a lot of content. We're putting out a lot of things, and we speak at things. But we're just getting started, right? We got to ramp this thing up. But try to be as many places as you can so that people start to see your brand. Like 1 Hour Heat and Air, I see their trucks everywhere. They sponsor the radio stations. I mean, they have saturated the market with their marketing, right? So be everywhere. As long as you have those other things in place. You don't want to be everywhere if you have bad reviews and a bad reputation. Then you want to hide under a rock for a while and try to fix that stuff up. Yeah, call Elizabeth maybe. So perception helps. So I keep talking about perception, and I think it's, we see this all the time. There's companies that we kind of look up to, and we look at, wow, they work with Uber and Apple and all this stuff. And I don't know if it's all true or not, but it gives you that, wow, they must be awesome. And if you do some digging, maybe they really worked, like Eric was saying the other day, like maybe they're a 3rd-tier subcontractor to someone else, and then they work with Uber on something. But they're using that to their advantage. They can prove it, but Uber probably doesn't really use them all the time, or they were like a one-off thing. But that gives them perception, and Uber's brand now is attached to their brand, and now they look bigger and better than they are. So first impressions are important, right? So for us, we want to have a good perception. What do people think about when they think of Array Digital or Kevin Daisey, other than good looking? But so I would say look at your client base, look at the things that you've done, awards and all that stuff. They can help with the perception piece, but at the end of the day, it's not going to get you all the way there. You still have to have the reputation, the customer experience, and all those things have to be in place. But perception can help you get in the door, right? So key takeaways. That's really all I got. So you have control of your brand identity. There's a lot of things that you can do to control it. Some things are going to be out of control, but all the basics should be in place. And then work on the basics. Deliver and build relationships. That's always going to help you no matter what. And then perception, use that to your advantage. So think of ways that you can create perception with your brand, get people to talk about you, and then associate you with good things, right? So you want to hear people in the community talking about your company in a good light, or they work with this company, or I heard they were working with Uber or Apple or whoever, right? And that just does something to uplift your brand a little bit better. But then you got to deliver at the end of the day. So that's all I got. Anyone have any questions? It's pretty short and sweet, I guess.